Hello, it's Reija and welcome to another video. Today I am going to talk about ratings, star ratings. And specifically I'm going to talk about how I give out star ratings, what stars mean to me and why I do them and why I find value in doing them and why I don't do them at some videos but at others I will. So let's get started. So you might have noticed if you've hung around my channel for a time that when I do like actual book reviews where I review 1 or 2 books per video, I don't use star ratings at all. I originally did my so-called yay or nay series where I just decided if a book was a yay or a nay for me, but I didn't give out star ratings. And then I streamlined it even more, that I didn't even give a yay or a nay to the book, and I just talked about my issues with it, what I thought was good, the themes and whatnot. I tried to give a more broad view so that the listener or viewer could decide for themselves if the book was for them. So that's what I do when I do reviews. So you might wonder, well, why do star ratings at all? I use star ratings when I do wrap-ups. So that means that when I'm talking about multiple books, for example, like I'll have 4 books or 5 books to talk about in a 10 or 12-minute video or something. So that means that the time I'm allotted to talk about a specific book is much shorter than when I would do a review for it. That means that I will use star ratings as shorthand, because when you hear a specific amount of stars, like 3 stars or 2 stars, that will give you a certain indicator of how I viewed the book. So that is a kind of shorthand that I use. So I use a 5-star rating system like the normal one, and I use half stars, but I don't use like 1.25 or 1.75 stars. I just use 1 star, 1.5, 2 star, 2.5, and so forth, up to 5 stars. So I just want to kind of elaborate what makes a 1 star or a 2 star rating for me, how I decide on things, how my approach varies when it comes to comics or when it comes to books. So let's talk 1 stars first. 1 star rating is a kind of you tried award. It is kind of like you came to the party, you got published, you exist, you tried. To get a 1 star, the book has to be like insulting and offensive to me. And I don't mean offensive in content, like there's content that I find offensive because I believe in diversity of content. I believe that if the author tackles the content well and it is challenged, then you can pretty much write about anything. That said, when a book feels like it is insulting my intelligence, that really drops me off the board really fast. And I've had instances where this has happened. If there's like shoddy world building, poor character development, poor grammar and poor proofreading all wrapped in one package, and the story is not up to par, it will get a 1 star rating, because nothing insults me more than a book that insults my intelligence and treats me like I'm stupid and tries to be more clever than it is when in fact it really isn't. So a 1 star read is a book that is of poor quality in terms of how it's presented, how it's written, what the storyline is about. It might be a cliche, it might be poorly structured, it might be that the author just doesn't challenge any of the things they are talking about, and etc. And it also means that I don't want to revisit that book, I don't want to recommend it to anyone. That way it will get a 1 star. And half stars are kind of like you did something a bit better than the 1 star or the 2 star or the 3 star. You did something a bit better, but not enough to push you over the boundary to actual like full starness. And a 2 star read for me is a book that I might have had fun with on certain aspects. Like there are some redeeming qualities in the book, but overall it just doesn't grab me. It doesn't hold my interest, and usually 2 star books for me are like books that are like boring to the point of tears or bad to the point of tears, and once again that I don't want to recommend to friends or anyone, and I don't want to reread them. And if it's a series, 2 star books are usually ones where I don't want to give the series another go, even though there might be some aspects that I liked in it that didn't result in me giving it a 1 star. For example, Truth Witch is a book that I gave 2 stars to. I am now reading the second one because it is nominated for the BookTube SFF Awards. But originally when I read that one, I had so many qualms with it that I just didn't really feel connected to the characters, and I didn't feel connected to the world or the story, and it just felt nonsense to me. And that reflected on my review on Goodreads for it, even though my actual video review doesn't give it a rating. But yeah, that is just one example of what I'm talking about. Then for a 3 star read, 3 star reads are kind of like the lowest good score I'm handing out. 3 stars is like a solid good effort. Like there was in a 3 star reads, I feel like a 3 star read is an okay book. It might have problems in presentation, it might have problems in structure and plot development or character development, but all in all, I still found myself enjoying it. I might not reread it anytime soon, but I would still recommend it to someone, and I would still see value in it and see that other people might enjoy it more than me. For example, Sleeping Giants is a book that I really much enjoyed, but I had problems with it because it had poor characterization and some structural elements, and kind of like it wasn't fully like charismatic, so I couldn't justify a higher score for it. Another one would be Gene Mapper. I still recommend it, as well as Future Home of the Living God by Louise Erdrich. I still recommend those books, even though they were like 3 and 3.5 star reads for me. But I still see a lot of value in reading them and talking about them. And then a 4 star read. A 4 star read is a book that I might want to actually purchase for my collection. I might want to go back to it. I might want to reread it at some point. There might be some small issues like in representation, in presentation and such, but they are minor issues. They are not deal breakers. And 4 star reads are ones that I feel like are my kind of standard rating. Like I don't give out 5 star reads very easily. But 4 star reads are like, I would say that most of my book collection is like 4 star reads. And then finally a 5 star read. A 5 star read is a book that I can see myself reading and rereading over and over again. I can see myself recommending that book to all my friends, all my family, everyone. I can see myself drawing fan art and exploring the fandom and stuff. 5 star books for me are like instant new favorite, like new all-time favorite books. Those are the 5-star books for me. And it's not easy to get that. 4 stars and 4.5 stars even are much easier to come by, but 5-star books for me personally are like my new all-time favorite books. And then I would shortly like to talk about the differences when it comes to reviewing comic books and books. Because comic books have art. And when it comes to reviewing comic books have a easier time getting star ratings from me than books do. Because books have to stand on their own. The text has to deliver everything. Whereas a comic book has page layout, it has the actual text, it has the art, it has the colors, it consists of many different components that make up the whole. So in that sense, a 3-star comic book is actually not the same to me as a 3-star book would be. A 3-star comic book is like mediocre to me. It is not necessarily bad, but it is not necessarily something that I would recommend either. So in that sense, it is slightly worse than a 3-star book would be, if you follow. And it is actually very hard for a comic book to get a 1-star rating from me. It has to be really bad, like really offensively bad. The art has to be like poor, composition has to be poor, the story has to be poor, like it has to be seriously bad, like awful for me to give it a 1-star rating. Usually when I'm talking about bad comics or comics that are poor in my opinion, I'm usually giving them like 2 stars, you know, for the effort. Unless you're like Rob Liefeld level of bad at art, you're not getting a 1-star rating from me. That's just how it is. I value the art too much to give them lower ratings because I know how much effort goes into it. So yeah, those are all the things that I wanted to discuss considering star ratings. I know this has been a little bit rambly and kind of all over the place, but that's what I think, that's how I view things. And I'll probably just be leaving this video linked in my wrap-ups from now on so that you can have some context to how I rate books and comic books. And there you have it. This has been my video for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. And tell me in the comments how you do star ratings. Do you think they are necessary? Do you think they are kind of a good guideline? Do you use a completely different set of review criteria? Tell me in the comments and I will be happily participating in the discussion. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye bye!